This is EDL 856, Module 1, Introduction. I am Kyle Westerman and inspire to my students to dig deeper and try harder, and encourage her to make mistakes and fail, but to persevere through those difficulties. Again, I'm Kyle Westerman. This is my 6th year of teaching. This is my first year at Oxford Junior High and High School. I previously taught at Winfield High School for 5 years. I teach 7th and 8th grade social studies and physical education. I also teach high school strength and conditioning. I also coach high school football and track. Here's a picture of my family. My wife, who is a teacher as well, she is the teacher of the deaf and hard of hearing for all of Cali County. I have 2 sons. My oldest will turn 4 next month, and my youngest, Zephyrin, will turn 1 next month. My oldest is Dexter. I enjoy sports and the outdoors. My education, I earned a bachelor's degree in 2009 from Fort Hays State. I went back to Emporia and finished my teaching degree in 2014. And I'm back here at FHSU to finish my master's in building leadership. With this assignment, we talked about the introductions and how important an introduction can be. Forms of communication are digital, oral, and written. The one I use most often would be the digital, with it being probably email, whether it be with coworkers or parents or students. I email probably most often. I also use Google Classroom to communicate with my parents and students about assignments and what needs to be done. Very rarely do I use social media, but if I do, I use a little bit of Facebook and Twitter, just usually for announcements, and not really not ever personal messages to anybody. Probably my favorite way is through oral communication, phone calls to parents, whether it be to set up an appointment or a meeting for parent-teacher conferences or to talk about a student's behavior or issues or anything like that. But I also meet stakeholders in public and enjoy chatting and talking with community members. Lastly, I do write positive letters home every now and then. I kind of stole that idea from Bill Snyder and his handwritten letters to different athletes and coaches. And I think that's something that's super important and can make an impact on those kids. Different forms of communication. Again, the tools provided, I obviously have a district email. I do have accessibility to the district Facebook page through administration. So if I needed to put out a message to the community, I can do that through administration's approval. And then again, I do have Google Classroom where I can communicate with my students and the parents of those students. Tools needed, there is really none that I can think of. When it comes to communicating with parents and students, I have, a phone at the school if I need to call them. I have email. The district does provide stamped envelopes if I need to send a letter. But there's really nothing I can think of that I would need as a form of communication that I don't already have. The importance of the introduction. So how does this information shared impact your introductions in your personal life or professional life? The 2 things that I really got out of the readings would be, it's not what do you do, but what do you like to be known for? And I think that is really something to think about when you're introducing yourself. So many people forget the whole, what do you do? Well, I'm a teacher, or I teach history, or I teach PE. But if you give them what you are known for, it's not going to be a simple answer. And I think people are going to remember that more. And it's going to make more of an impact on the people that you meet. And the other thing I got from, I think, the 3rd article was, don't list what you do by why, but don't list what you do, but why you are doing it. And so you're, again, not just listing what you're doing, but the reasons why you are doing what you're doing. And I think that links back to, what would you like to be known for? What methods might you introduce yourself as the new building leader? I think when it comes to being given the job or earning the job as a building leader, you're probably going to be introduced to a crowd. But then I would like to spend time with each teacher to get to know them as well. And I think one of the things from the 3rd article that I think was pretty impactful for me was, start with a personal story. Why did you get into teaching? What personal story got you to that point? Why, um, did you want to become a principal? And I think with the recent events, I mean, I had one of those personal stories. I just had a senior in one of my classes email me the other night and just thank me for everything that we had gone through together, encouraging him to be a better football player, a better athlete in the weight room, and just told me he'd miss me, and that was impactful for me. And I think that story right there is a real reason why I teach, and we continue to do what we do, and it makes missing the rest of this semester hard, especially for those seniors that we won't get to see again in the classroom. Do you follow a set of district strategic policies for communicating effectively? Why or why not? Yes, I do. With any social media contact, it is to the community and not to an individual. I don't want to use my private social media to ever communicate with a student or a parent, um, unless it's after they have left high school. I don't mind, I guess, linking up social media wise with a student, especially if they want to be, use me as a reference or say, hey, coach or teach, how do I go about doing this? I always want to be reachable to those kids that are maybe out of the community now and moved on. So once they graduate, I will accept a Facebook friend request or something to that effect and answer there. But I don't ever talk about a personal student with a parent on social media. That's not done on that kind of stuff. Any direct contact with a student or a parent is done with the district email. And this is done to maintain a professional relationship with the community and students. You see so many times of different things that happen when teachers and students or teachers and parents start communicating outside those professional guidelines, and things can be misconstrued or misunderstood. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be my job to be in jeopardy because of a communication issue outside of a district email. Here are the references that I used for this assignment. Thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a great semester, and good luck to you teachers out there that are trying to figure out how to finish the semester. God bless.